pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening and welcome to tonight's planning board meeting. Please be aware of the fire exit, which is to your left of this room. In the event of an emergency, please move in a calm and orderly fashion down the stairs and do not use the elevator. The meetings are recorded by the secretary for the purpose of a record and minutes, so please identify yourself each time you come to the podium and please speak into the microphone. The board will follow the items in the order that they appear on the agenda, extra copies of which are near the door. After the case has been called, the applicant and or their representative shall come to the podium, identify him or herself, give his or her address, and then present their case. The planning board members will then have an opportunity to question the applicant. If this case is a public hearing, it will be open for public input, at which time anyone wishing to speak to the board regarding this application will come to the podium, identify themselves along with their address, and direct any questions to the board. Once all public input has been completed, the applicant or site representative will be given the opportunity to respond to any public input. Once all public input has been completed and all questions have been satisfied, the case will be closed to public input, and the board will then move on to a decision. No further input will be allowed at that point. Michelle, if you'd introduce the first case, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First item on the agenda is case number PB 1405-1. Upon the matter of request by Craig Bruno for signage approval to maintain an existing sign with new logo on premises 38 Cooper Road in a mixed-use commercial district.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Craig Bruno at 38 Cooper Road, Rochester, New York, and I'm applying for an existing sign, 10.5 square feet, to add a logo to the sign. And, we're right there by the corner of Cooper and Titus, and, we talked about it at the meeting a couple weeks ago, the workshop, and, I guess that's really all I have. I don't know, any other questions you guys have, please feel free to ask.
Jay, any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just to comment, we had talked about making sure that the sign just illuminates the lighting just illuminates the sign. And from the pictures that are here, it appears that there's a lot of illumination that comes out from underneath the sign and probably hits the house next to it and the like. So is there any way you can block that light so that or redirect the light or put something along the bottom of it so it only illuminates the sign and not the area beyond it?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I think I sent an email over to a couple of you guys a few weeks ago with those pictures, and anything you need me to do to those lights, whether it's just putting a little filter on the bottom, like you said, so that the light doesn't go through the bottom of the sign. I'm sure that'd be fine. The landlord for the house, Karen McGrath, she owns a few properties right along there, actually. She used to, be in that house and have her run a quick chiropractic business there. And, she hired the electrician to put those lights in. If I can't figure it out, I should be able to. I can certainly have her, get in touch with him to modify that light to make sure that it's not blinding anybody or anything. We put filters so that it limits the light from going through underneath the sign is what I think you're alluding to, right?
Yeah. I don't even know if you need a filter or anything that elaborate. I mean, all you really need is basically a piece of wood underneath there.
Okay.
Across the bottom of it. I don't
Right.
know if that increases the size of the sign so that it no longer is, but it's not really part of the sign, it's really part of the structure.
It's part of the lighting, as you're trying to
What-
direct.
What's the wattage of the bulb that's in there?
It's like it's about half a sun.
Well, you got to remember, this is a photo, and I'm sure it's overexposed a bit due to the averaging of it. Do you know what the...
No, I asked Karen that, and she was going to ask their electrician. But she didn't get back to me yet. I can probably look on it, I would think.
Well, that's the only issue I have with this, is that the light just has to hit the
I mean, it
side
seems
of
to
the-
me like they're angled out towards the street, not towards the residence. And it seems like the one kind of is aimed a little low, maybe it could be aimed a little higher.
Right. So it's not going through the bottom of the sign?
Right.
Okay. Yeah, do you have a suggested wattage for the bulb?
Yeah, I do. Not to over-illuminate.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks to me like this is a halogen fixture. The bulb in there is probably 150 watts, but I am
The
not,
problem with those fixtures is that it's a point source light, and it's
Right.
blinding. Even at low wattage, it's very bright, so all you really have to do is put a piece of wood in between so that the sign is almost solid to the bottom.
Peter,
Right, okay, I got you.
change it so it illuminates from the top.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
okay. Ray?
No, Mr. Bruno? I can tell you that Mr. Ritchie knows all there is to know about lighting. And if he says, put a piece, that is a great recommendation.
Okay,
And I would recommend that
Easy fix is what it is.
it
Right.
is, it really is. And I think it fixes issues around that. So if you're willing to do that,
yeah.
I'm
Are we saying to make his sign bigger, or you're just saying a blank piece of wood?
Just a blank piece of
blank
wood.
piece of wood underneath.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mary?
I agree with what they've been saying.
Michael?
Well, it's a Johnny-come-lately suggestion, but why couldn't the illumination be from the top of the sign, although that lighting isn't there, but from the top of the sign down, and then there's no overcast anywhere? Nothing escapes where it's,
Mixed use commercial.
I think the lights are existing,
yes.
and we're not trying to make the applicant reinvent the wheel. That's what, I think if he's willing to put the wood in, I think that would be acceptable to me.
As long as, I think, after it's all done, the illumination doesn't escape the sign.
Right.
Michael, how
Can't you
would
get one of those
recommend
light
you do that?
catchers? I'm making that up. All right, is there any comments at this time from the public? Seeing none, we'll close public input. I mean, I'm fine with the board underneath, if everyone else is, I know.
Yeah, I'll make sure that happens. With the people who are actually going to put the logo on the sign, I'm sure that, we could just have them, put the wood right in there, to block it all out.
Yeah, it has to look,
Yeah, it'd be better than me
that's
trying
a
to do
fine,
it.
when you issue the permit, just bring what it's gonna look like, not just throwing a piece of wood,
Yeah, right. That's
I
why
think
I
what we're
said I
intending is that you put a piece of wood that would match the wood above, it'd be painted similar to the background of the sign.
Exactly, right, and it's just white, so, I'll have them do
Quick-
that, and I can
Quick
just.
question.
Yeah.
Mr. Bruno, would
Yep.
that be lit all night long, from dusk to dawn?
Yeah, they're dusk till dawn lights.
Okay. All right, just curious.
We do seeker for a sign?
No.
It's a type 2 action.
That's what I thought. So there's no need for any motion regarding the seeker.
You can state in your resolution that you're recognizing that it's been determined a type 2 action, but you don't need to do anything further.
Signage approval, there it is. So the conditions are add a board to the bottom of sign panel. And it's to match the background of the sign above. I actually think I saw those light catchers on Harry Potter. They might be available.
Yeah.
I think you got to go to England and maybe check the eBay.
I'll Google it.
All right.
Amazon.com.
Yeah.
Does somebody want to make a motion, or is that a motion to, I guess I just made it, to approve the sign by adding a board to the bottom of sign panel to match the background of the sign above?
And that
Second.
it meets the type 2 seeker action?
I made that note on the front.
Could you read that then, Mr. Chairman?
Yep,
Just to be-
Peter?
I did read it.
Could we add to it that the final product has to be one that captures all the illumination pretty much on the sign? I mean,
That's impossible.
okay.
I can reread exactly what I said before, but add the board to the bottom of sign panel to match the background of the sign above. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Who else? Bernie Blocky's absent. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Thank you for investing in Arundequoit.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good day.
Am I all set to leave?
You can-
Okay, thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Next item on the agenda is case number PB 1405-2. Upon the matter of request by Robert Terra Jr. for signage approval to install new signage to existing pole on premises 726 Titus Avenue in a mixed-use commercial district.
Whoops.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Robert Terra. I own a property at 726 Titus Avenue, Rochester, New York. Our proposal, my representative here from New Light Signs.
I'm Richard Myra from New Light Neon in Rochester.
I'm a State Farm agent, and I recently purchased this property back in December. We've put together our proposal and working with a national provider for State Farm called Dual Light, who's then contracted the services of Dick to do the installation of a high-quality, rather expensive sign to replace a sign that was hung there previously by the accountant who was a tenant there. I own the building as well as occupy the lower half of the building. We can certainly answer any questions about the construction or the size, or we have a photo.
Tell us a little bit about the lighting.
There is existing, and just listening to the comments from Mr. Bruno, there was two 65-watt floodlights that were as existing electrical that was in illuminating the sign from the bottom up. This particular property is a little bit different than that on Cooper. I mean, we're not surrounded by residents. We're next to another commercial building, across the street from another commercial building, and the light would certainly shine towards Cooper Road as opposed to the homeowner behind us. But again, it's an existing fixture. I wasn't able to illuminate it because there was some corrosion in the fixture, so we're working with an electrician to just replace that fixture, again, with nothing more than two 65-watt floods that would shine up on the sign. Certainly the intent would not be to shine any light in anyone's house, but again, the property's spread out much differently than it is on Cooper.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Any questions of the board? Jay?
No, thank you.
Ray?
No, thank you.
Mary?
Oh, thank you.
Michael?
I'm good, thanks.
This time I'd like to open it up to public input. Anyone wishing to speak in regards to this application may do so. Seeing none, close public input.
Mr. Chairman, this is a type 2 action, but I'd like to make a motion, matter of PB 1405, matter of request by Robert Terra for signage approval to install new signage to existing pole on premises 726 Titus Avenue in a mixed-use commercial district. I move approval.
Second?
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Those signal, say nay. Seeing none, motion carries. Thank you for investing in Arundequoit.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I can't
Unless
go
there's
home.
other, there's no
Well,
other,
My wife will be suspicious.
everyone can go to the Arundecoit versus East Arundecoit game if you like, lacrosse game. Sectionals, I believe at East Arundecoit.
East or west? Because West Arundecoit's packed.
I believe I saw most people going into Dake, and my son told me it was at Eastridge.
I would make a motion, Mr. Chairman, to adjourn.
Thank you. I'll second that motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good night,
Thank
everyone.
you, sir.